broad criteria which have been announced on the basis of which bids will be evaluated, and the top scoring 20 cities in the first round will be financed in this financial year. Y.D. Murthy, the Executive Vice President of Finance at NCC, joins in on the line with his quick takeaways. Hi sir, thanks very much for joining in. You heard a part of what the Minister was talking about. What's your key takeaway on the announcements that have been made today? Amongst them, the key are that there would be 100 crores every year for the next 5 years for each of these smart cities.
Yeah, there's a step in the right direction, and already the smart city development program has been initiated, being a frontline construction company with a large focus on buildings. We are very confident we will get substantial order accretion in our company as we go forward.
All right, Mr. Murthy, but just sticking with that point then, 100 crores for 5 years, is that enough to see everything get up and operational?
It is 100 crores per city.
Right.
There are 100 cities,
right,
which means there is about 5,000 crores per year for the next 4 years. And current year, I think they are giving 2,000 crores, 200 crores per city,
yes,
which means about 2,000 crores. So it is quite substantial. Definitely, it will kickstart the smart city development across India.
Okay, when do you see the first of these orders flowing in, given that in this financial year we could just see the green signal for 20 of these smart cities?
It will take a while. We will also wait for the order.
But how early could it be? FY16, perhaps somewhere in the middle there, or even later?
It will take at least 6 months. That's our gut feeling. But we have to wait and see how the things will pan out. And we are more excited about the new capital city of Amaravati that is coming up in Andhra Pradesh. Being a local contracting company, we are looking forward to various tenders being floated by the government of Andhra Pradesh for developing the new state capital.
Mr. Murthy, then I believe that Andhra Pradesh and Bihar, they've got 3 cities each. So do you think you're going to be up and bidding for those?
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. We will participate.
But what is the size of the opportunity you see there?
As a ballpark, all the 100 cities put together, as the minister was telling, it should be something in the region of 10 to 12,000 crores spread over a period of 5 years.
All right, Mr. Murthy, then can you explain to us, the dynamics in terms of revenue generation? When exactly will they come into your books? When exactly, do you see this hit your profit and loss account once the entire tender process, etc.? So just explain the dynamics of revenue generation.
That will take a while because it is only the thought process, and unless they call for tenders.
No, that's fair enough. If you could just give us a basic sense of the timeline that it would take from the time that you get the first order, what's the timeline that follows?
Typically, the building contracts are given for periods of 30 months to 36 months. That is 2.5 to 3 years' time. So naturally, the completion periods will be like that, and accordingly, the project execution will take place. It is too premature to give any timeline at this point in time, unless the tenders are floated, and what is the timeline specified by the client for each package. We have to see all those things, then only I can give a specific timeline.
All right, Mr. Murthy, then, there's been a lot of focus about your company, NCC's margins. You're at around 9% approximately. Typically, from these kind of orders, what kind of margins do you expect going ahead?
See, our company has reported reasonable margin expansion last year, and that is continuing in the current year. As you rightly said, in the first quarter, we have reported a EBIT of about 8.9%. The new orders also, because they are under the building segment, usually they should come with a margin of about 10 to 11%, and that will help us to improve the margins further.
All right, Mr. Murthy, thanks very much, sir, for speaking with us, and all the very best for the rest of the year. We also have Mr. K.K. Mohanty, the MD of Gammon Infra, who now joins in on the line from Mumbai, another beneficiary of the smart cities. Mr. Mohanty, thanks for speaking with us. You heard what the minister had to say, sir. What are your first key takeaways?
I think the government is focused and taking it forward. That's a good sign. but still a long way to cover, and we need to really understand the micro-level planning and specific provisions in it. The 100 crore and 200 crore provisions are peanuts for this type of activities. We have to see how the rest of the funds are tied up. This 200 crore might be for the initial planning, designing, and development of the thing. But if you have to look at the real investment, the numbers will be much different and much bigger also.
How much bigger could they be?
See, each smart city at least will be few hundred crores type. So 98 you were talking about is a very huge number. 100, 200 crore is only initial out-of-pocket expenses type in the context of this industry hotel. It's like a out-of-pocket expenses. Just to create initial office, people might be design aspect and doing a little research. This will meet only those expenses to create a basic framework. But if you talk about real investment scopes and all, that will be much bigger and a larger number, and we need to see how it is coming. Second thing is we have to see what are the revenue model for this and the investment model for this. Third thing is how it is planned as far as facility-wise and user-friendly-wise, whether India is ready for those type of facilities or not. And fourthly, we have to see I hope that there will be equal distribution of initial what action is coming is UP and Tamil Nadu have got the maximum.
Yeah.
East has got very little. Karnataka and Gujarat has got some moderate. So we need to see that as a country we should maintain the equilibrium balance and every area has an equal development opportunity.
All right, Mr. Murthy, then have you identified any part of the country, any states that in fact you will be looking at going ahead and bidding? That's one. And secondly, is 5 years enough to get the project up and going?
This type of project should have a construction period of between 3 to 5 years, and it requires another 1 year of conceptualizing and putting the structure in place. So a 6 or 7 years time span should be a reasonable one, provided we put all the pieces in place. And the second thing is India is a big country. Depending on, yes, the different states have different demographic advantages, disadvantages. So we'll select few of the options if at all the opportunity is looking attractive.
Okay. Sir, you said that you'll be awaiting the revenue model. By when might we expect the first of these to actually be available for assessment? And when do you also expect orders to finally start flowing in, given that in this financial year there might be only 20 that might get the go-ahead?
Madam, I think it's still too early. They have to still get the right pieces in the drawing board for the planning and conceptualizing the whole project in detailing. So I think we are still 6 months to 1 year away of that stage, and after that it will take another 6 months for bidding and other things.
All right, Mr. Murthy, then you said that, this 100 crores, that will be a very small amount in comparison to the total size. So how exactly do you expect funds to be raised? Will it be coming from the municipal corporation? What kind of part will be coming in from there?
I think if they go for a public-private partnership route, then the revenue model is very, very critical.
Okay.
The investment might be still easier, but for that also today the infrastructure, the confidence of the lending industry on the infrastructure is too weak today. So they need to restore that confidence on the infrastructure because the banks are bleeding also. So unless the solution is there, even the debt will not flow smoothly. Even if the equity somewhere somebody might be interested. So these are all other pieces which have to be fixed into this model. Then only it can work.
All right, sir. For the moment, thanks very much for your initial thoughts. So that's the word coming in from Gammon Infra, and that's the move actually on the smart city. So let's see, at least there's the initial leg up. But there's news coming in from Asia. China has closed over 5% higher. Europe is open on the front foot also this afternoon. So between 1.5% to 2% in terms of gains over there. So we'll take a very quick break, come back in a